Over counselors and school safety. It's part of our big story tonight. There's a severe shortage in our state, and one school leader is now calling on lawmakers to take on the crisis. 7 Action News reporter Kim Russell is live outside Troy High School, a district that's raising concern. What type of a shortage are we talking about, Kim?
You know, the numbers paint a picture. The American School Counselors Association recommends a counselor to student ratio of 1 to 250. When it comes to here in Michigan, we have 482 students. When it comes to the nationwide numbers, we have 482 students for every one counselor. Then when you look at the numbers here in Michigan, they're even worse. We have 729 students for every one counselor. That's the third worst ratio in the country. The superintendent of Troy Schools says we need to talk about it. In a matter of minutes, 17 people lost their lives in Florida when a former student walked into a high school with a gun and started shooting. If you talk to people who work as counselors in schools about the tragedy, one question is on their mind. Could that young man's actions have been prevented if there were more mental health and well-being resources in schools?
They need intervention. So if we can provide that intervention early on, then a tragedy could be stopped.
Jessie Allgaier is a school counselor at Troy High School. She says school counselors don't just provide academic, college, and career counseling. They meet with students struggling due to bullying, stress, trauma, or mental illness. She says she is lucky to be at a school district with a student-to-counselor ratio of about 400 to 1, much better than the statewide average of 729 to 1. But with a lower ratio, more could be done to help at-risk students achieve happy, productive lives.
Whether we want to acknowledge it or not, students are in crisis every day.
As we talk about how we allocate resources in our schools, that's one of the areas that I would hope our legislators would look at.
Troy Superintendent Dr. Rich Macheski says the shortage is caused by a lack of funding. He says addressing the shortage of school counselors and other crisis intervention staff, such as social workers, would be a step towards preventing tragedy and setting students up to succeed in life after school.
And I would hope that we can change this conversation away from guns in schools, no matter who has them, to how do we help support our students' social and emotional well-being. And I think the counselors on that front line, I'd like to see more of them available.
And the superintendent of Troy Schools says they recently increased the number of counselors they have here, and they've seen that it improves academic performance. They see results. And in case you're wondering, in Florida, they don't have the recommended amount of counselors to students. They have 485 students for every one counselor. Reporting live in Troy, Kim Russell, 7 Action News.
Kim, thank you.